Wow, May, you're so awesome. You're the funniest one that I have ever seen. You know, that made me rethink my whole pinnacle of my comedy career, and you know what? I don't think whatever I do will ever beat what that May just did. You know, I'm just gonna give up on ever making jokes ever again after seeing what that May has accomplished. You know, I think Seth Rogen could really learn something. I think, pretty much any late night comedy host, like, they should really see that May, and oh boy, are they gonna wet themselves when they see what that May has accomplished in the way of comedy.
I don't know what's worse, that May, or top 10 scary Fortnite moment.
You know, I don't think that May will ever see the light of day. They'll get buried under thousands of comments. Literally everyone on YouTube asking them how they're so funny. You know, I can't think of a single thing funnier. You know, I'm just gonna rethink my life. You know, there's no more comedy in my life. After what that May has done, there is no more comedy. I cannot laugh ever again.
What's comedy? That's certainly not anything else besides that May.
You know, I certainly knew before dealing with that May, but now I have no idea. After seeing that May, I think I can no longer deal with comedy. You know what? I think Jim Gaffigan really needs to rethink his whole career. He just has to base it off of what that May has just done. There's very few times I may ever smile again, but I know it'll all have to do with that May.
And I wouldn't be as funny as that May. Wait, what map are we on? Are we still on New Money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna be Iron Man. Do you think if Iron Man was a pedophile, he owned an iron van? Do you think if Iron Man...
Do you think that if Iron Man...
I fell down, then Iron Man would help give me an iron hand?
Do you think that if Iron Man really needed better internet, then he'd be Iron Lan? Do you think that if Iron Man wasn't tall enough to reach something, he'd use an iron stand?
Oh no, he almost fell. Probably.
Probably. Do you think that if Iron Man was really wanting to be prepared, then he'd use an iron plan?
Do you think Iron Man's gonna have a girlfriend named Iron Ann? Do you think if Iron Man was stressed out, he would pop some Iron Zans? Do you think that if Iron Man got sweaty, he would have an iron fan?
Do you think that if Iron Man got thrown out of a place, he'd be Iron Banned?
Bitch, you don't try and run from me.
Monkey.
Oh, I missed. Not right now, though. Oh. I'm not gonna go in there.
We all know what play is gonna be now.
Aww. My play! Okay, thanks, Mike. You made one of them leave. How do you feel now?
Good.
No!
Do you think that if Doomfist had a hard time pronouncing words, he'd be Doomlisp?
No!
Do you think that if Doomfist burned some... Do you think that if Doomfist burned some bread, he'd be Doom Crisp?
Okay, give me a second.
Do you think that if Hanzo tried to learn... Do you think that if Hanzo tried to learn the guitar, he'd be Banjo?
Maybe. Do you think if Tracer ran a 5K, she'd be a racer?
They already made that joke in her skin, T-Racer.
Do you think if she was going too fast about stuff, they would try and pace her?
Ooh.
Well,
this is like Words with Friends, but like...
I think we could make a whole video out of just these jokes.
That's what I'm planning on. Do you think if Bowser had a really big nose, he'd have quite the schnauzer? Do you think that if Mario stopped racing and actually drove like a normal person, then he'd have a Cario?
Thank you.
Do you think that if May wanted to go to a really fancy dance, she'd go to an ice ball?
Do you think if Paul Blart had a lot of, fuck, this is such a think if Paul Blart had a lot of gas, you do a Paul Fart?
Do you think that if Paul Blart was really good at painting, he'd be Paul Art?
Bitch! Oh, she's right here. No!
Do you think that if Paul Blart really liked shopping, then he'd be Paul Cart? We're just spawn camping them. Do you think that if Leafy is here, drove his own car, then he'd be Leafy as Steer? Do you think if Leafy was here, was water, then he'd be Leafy as Clear? Do you think if Leafy was here, was sad, then he'd be Leafy as Tear? Oh, okay, Soldier probably stole my play.
Do you think
weird.
if play of the game was really bad, then it'd be play with the shame?
Do you think that if play of the game was really hot, it'd be play of the flame?
Do you think if Leafy need to trim his trees, he'd be called Leafy as Shear?
Do you think that if Leafy is here was really happy, he'd be Leafy as Cheer?
Do you think if Leafy was the last car of a train, he'd be called Leafy as Rear? Do you think if Leafy is here was on a horror movie, he'd be called Leafy as Fear?
I always go with an uppercut. You always go in with a seismic slam. For me, actually, I do kind of 50-50 it, because sometimes the seismic slam leads into the punch, and then sometimes
it's Reaper! Guys, look out!
He's dead already.
Meteor. You fucking kidding me? Bitch! If anyone's gonna play,
I was
it's
waving
gonna
hi
be
to this May. I think their controller died, so I was waving hi to them, and then all of a sudden it was just, they started to freeze me, so I just punched them into the wall.
That's better.
think if Walter White owned the plane, to be called Walter Flight.
Do you think if Walter White had a dog, he'd be Walter Bite?
Do you think if Walter White likes nighttime, he'd be called... Fuck, you spoiled it!
Yeah, you can't really spoil it. Like, you have to lead into it without spoiling it.
Do you think if Walter White liked the evening, he'd be called Walter Night?
I made her use it, like, in a bad place. Do you think that if hippies could sail the ocean, they'd be shippies?
Oh. Do you think if hippies liked to barbecue, they'd be called flippies?
Do you think that if hippies really liked to drink their cups annoyingly, then they'd be sippies?
I take it over.
Yeah.
Do you think that if Doomfist was connected to the hand, then he'd be Doom Wrist?
Meteor strike.
Do you think that if Doomfist liked to really organize things, then he'd be Doom List? Do you think that if Legend of Wick was really ill, then he'd be Legend of Sick? Do you think that if Legend of Wick had really liked to hit things, then he'd also be Legend of Kick?
Do you think if Legend of Wick had a choice, he'd be Legend of Pick?
Do you think that if Legend of Wick liked to really be annoying, then he'd be Legend of Click?
Do you think if Legend of Wick wouldn't shut the fuck up, he'd be called Legend of Dick?
Do you think that if May liked to be a dungeon crawler, then she would slay?
Do you think if May was religious, then she would pray?
Do you think that if May was really tired, then she would lay?
Okay, that's the fuck. Do you think if May saw Friend for the first time in a while, she'd be like, "Hey, I just saved somebody's life"? Probably not.
It's pretty bad.
Do you think if May
I just had the
Disney
quickest
movies,
reaction
then
and
she
shot
would
him in the
watch
head.
Brave? Do you think May is a fan of the Batcave?
Do you think that if May worked for Santa, then she'd build a sleigh?
Do you think if May was a furry, she'd be a horse who likes hay?
Do you think that if May was in black and white, then she'd be gray?
Think if May was a scam. Oh wait, she already is. Oh. Get him, Mike.
Do you think that when Dumbledore got really old, he'd be a double snore?
Do you think when Dumbledore goes golfing, he yells Dumble4? Do you think Dumbledore, when he works out, he strengthens his Dumblecore? Do you think Dumbledore calls his ex-wife a Dumble whore?
Yes, yes, I do.
Do you think if Dumbledore woke up on a deserted island, he would be at the Dumble shore?
I was thinking, do you think if like if Torbjorn was on D-Day, then he'd be on the molten shore?
What?
Do you think that if Torb was on D-Day, he'd be at the molten shore?
Do you think if Dumbledore's husband died, he would be at the Dumble morgue? Do you think Dumbledore fakes everything and he makes a Dumble forge?
Like,
Okay, are we gonna be done with the jokes? My head's starting to hurt really bad.
no, we're gonna keep going with the jokes. But,
You
or
what?
how?
If you want a healer so bad, then you be the healer, Hanzo.
Yeah, we're not having a problem with health.
See, we're May, not you. You want to piss him off just by blocking him.
Oh, I'm dead. Cool.
My new goal from winning this game has gone from winning to pissing off this Hanzo.
Do you think that if Dumbledore went golfing, he'd keep the double score?
I imagine so. Don't let him in at all. Double walls. If all the maids would just put up their walls. Just keep putting up your walls, guys. They can't get in.
Not on this side. Oh. What a trashy widow.
Oh god, it's like D-Day. It's D-Day.
Faked it out.
They don't know. Hi, Junkrat! Oh god, it's like D-Day.
Except, you know, we're the Nazis.
Fuck. No. I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised we've survived as long as we...
Wow.
I got a loot box. Oh. Well, I'm the only one who doesn't get 2. Yes! Oh, come on, rank me up. Yeah, baby, we got 2 loot boxes open. Widowmaker?
Yeah.
Is this my only time that I get to play
Yeah.
Widowmaker? Okay. I'm gonna
Let's see
use
here.
the
This map
Gwen
is
skin.
more the Paris
Oh,
Eternal.
don't go Widowmaker. Okay. I'm not gonna go Torb. I refuse.
Oh, what? Well, I guess they left.
Maybe these guys will go Widowmaker. XX.
know.
Oh, this is that. Dude, this is a real Alucard. That's his freaking console username. Oh, leave me alone, you dumb skink. Leave me alone.
She's dead.
Did that sting?
Oh, there's
I got
another one?
fisted by
Really?
a small girl. There's 3. Look at their team.
Do you think that if Tracer was after a female criminal, she'd chase her?
Do you think if Tracer was getting ready for an explosion, she would brace her? She would brace her?
I've already killed one Orisa.
Fuck you. No way, that was a headshot.
Another one's low.
No one can hide from my sight.
There's a Tracer behind you.
Securing the objective.
Yeah, I saw her.
She's gone already. She's just
Oh, my
booked it.
eyebrow itches.
I'm securing the
Look at
objective.
Tracer.
The enemies of time.
Worked in a deli, she'd be a Widowmaker.
You said
I mean
Tracer
her
and then
Baker.
Widowmaker.
Taking the objective.
Same thing, guys.
Appreciate it.
I don't like. I do not like this NW team. Because they're all like almost impossible for us to kill.
Actually, I did notice in the Sigma cinematic, like at one part he's going crazy and then the sirens are going off and then you can distinctly hear Reaper gunshots, Widow's sniper rifle shoot once, and Sombra's SMG. Along with I think one more type of gun, but it was really hard to tell what it was. Like it wasn't someone in the game.
No one can hide from my
Actually, it could have been like Doomfist.
Did
I
you see
think-
that double headshot kill? Are you proud of me? Not really.
I think
Okay.
there was one of Doomfist charging up. Like, here,
Are
let
you
me
not
find
proud
it.
of me, father?
I didn't see it.
I got a double headshot feed.
Oh.
Widow. I killed Roadhog and Tracer. Bang! Don't worry, it's gonna work out. You'll see.
Doesn't work out.
It's gonna work out. Don't worry, I'm a pro sniper.
Do you think that if Farah was upset at someone,
Leave
she
me
would
alone,
glare?
Stan.
Lara?
Do you think Anna's favorite Disney movie is Moana? Do you think if Anna had a twin sister, she would be named Shauna?
No one can hide from
What?
my sight.
Do you think if when Anna goes to the gym, she sits in the sauna?
Ooh. I think so. Do you think that Roadhog would sit in the road fog?
in range of the objective. Form up on me.
Come out here, creep.
Enemy in my sights.
I actually have a really good view right here, but it's only of like people's legs.
Hi. Gosh dang it, you really can only see their legs.
Or that Tracer that just went by.
10,
Hey, bitch, that was mine. That was not your authority. You didn't have authority. Oh, there's a McCree down there.
There's also a hog right there. Oh, okay. So basically I'm about to die is what I'm hearing.
Well, at least we're losing the tracers.
My
We lost
ultimate is
one.
ready. My ultimate is ready.
60 seconds.
You think if Paul Blart was in Mario, he would ride in a Paul cart? You think if Paul Blart worked in the drugs division, he'd be a Paul Narc?
Ooh.
You think if Paul Blart had a dog, it would Paul bark?
Do you think that if wine was really nice, then it would be fine?
Do you think if wine was fine and it lost its vision, it would go blind?
Ooh. Do you think that if something was contested, and then something was better than that, then it would be bested?
I'm hungry now. I ate earlier.
Do you think that if an EMP went out to save people, then it'd be an EMT? Do you think that if an EMP was happy, then it would be EM Glee?
Do you think if an EMP laughed, it would go EMPE? What did you do? I got a headshot key. Oh, I sniped her at the end of this, I think. Aww. Wait, I did snipe her at the end of this. Aww. I want to say that I did snipe her at the end of that.
I hated that because she stuck it to
there.
the Sombra, and then the Sombra immediately backed into me.
Hero damage done. I'm gonna guess you're gonna go to bed now.
Yeah, I think so.